Hello. It's been a week since I've really done anything. I know that I kind of burnt out a bit. These things happen. I get on like an energy high for a few weeks, and then I just kind of deplete in my reserves. And I'm back now. I'm okay now though. I was also quite unwell, but again, I'm not dead. I didn't wake up dead. That's good. I wanted to just do a little response to Woes' video. Some of the comments as well, but not so much the particular comments, just the general tone of some of the conversation, which I've observed. Some comments are just some of the people criticizing me. Um, well, I don't care. There's no reason to respond to some people because it's not important. Their opinions are irrelevant. But also, you're not going to convince some people. If someone doesn't like me, then they don't like me. That's fine. You can't be friends with everyone. But me and Woes did speak for about 2 hours after that video was uploaded. Like until like 4 in the morning, we were speaking. So I'm going to repeat some of those points of conversation here a little bit, just so you know, Woes. Nothing, of course, nothing personal or anything. But there are a couple of points. Let me think. Yeah. Being called a neo-reactionary. I'm not a neo-reactionary. Rose isn't the first person to call me a neo-reactionary. I'm not. I've never read Moldbug. My knowledge of Nick Land's work is minimal. I've I flicked through a few bits and pieces of him, and I like his prose, as heavy as it is, but I'm not a neo-reactionary. I would call myself a reactionary, really. I affiliate with the alt-right, with neo-reaction, with the various bits and pieces, but I'm not a neo-reactionary. Mark Citadel clarified this in a comment under that video, actually. I'm more an independent person, really. I kind of float between various spheres. I don't have total allegiance to anything. So yeah, that's that. There another thing. For Woes, I don't really have any other comments to make. Thank you for the kind words. But there are no other points of disagreement or correction. But there are some other things which I just wanted to mention. This idea that my video, which I will link in the description, which started this whole thing with Woes, it's not a critique. I'm not criticizing anyone, really, or anything. I'm observing a trend. And I've said this before, even on the Rice Stuff forum. Fuck's sake, it's not loading right now. You boys really need to get some new servers. But there's this, someone was saying, oh, Adam's critique, or the idea. It's not a critique, it's an observation. It's not something, it's not, I'm not saying, oh, the alt-right is becoming this and we have to stop it, and we have to change it, and make it how it was again, make the alt-right great again. It's nothing like that. I'm not saying that, and it would be silly to say that. Nor is Woes. We are merely observing a trend. That's all it is, ultimately, at the end of the day. So, I don't know, man. I don't know why people are so quick to... Again, people seem really to want to pigeonhole my views. And it's not just me, but generally with this topic. So, oh, you're saying there's a problem. Oh, what do you think we should do then? All that sort of thing. Oh, you can debate the angel on top of the pinhead? Well, we're going to be saving the right race without you then. Just this really presumptuous kind of... Like, I was mentioned in a... Fuck me, what was it? One of the podcasts with the right stuff. One of those guys. Let's not mute myself. It was a good podcast. Good guys. But I responded to that, kind of making the same corrections I've just done with Woes, more or less. And this guy responded to me, assuming that I take totally like the neo-reactionary, like pacifism side of this whole thing, of like non-action. to a degree, it's all very special snowflakey when we get into definitions and all the rest, but we won't bother doing that. It's a waste. We won't. It's not the time for it. But he just presumed there was, and I could just tell from reading his comment that he had all these presumptions about me and what my views were. And it's just like, dude, I've never communicated that I think NRX is the best thing in the world and the alt-right is shit because it's full of white nationalists, or that I hate white nationalists, or that that sort of thing. It's fucking nonsense. I've never said that, and I never will do, because it's not true. I have nothing really against white nationalists. I'm not a white nationalist. I've made this point repeatedly. Firstly, white is a term which means nothing to me, and nationalism is a modern left-wing system of government. It's degenerate. So I don't understand where this whole thing comes from, however, because I've never come out and said white nationalists don't belong on my channel. A lot of the content I do won't appeal to white nationalists. That's fine. You can't fucking please everyone. A lot of my content won't appeal to those sorts of people. It won't give anything have anything for them. It doesn't appeal to them. Most of the stuff we do is kind of, there's a lot of mention of religion and culture and spirituality and metaphysics to a degree, esotericism, that sort of thing. It's kind of niche in that sense. I could just make videos talking about the white race. Anyone can do that, but there's no reason for me to do that. It would be a waste of time. And mostly, there are other people doing those things who could do it better than I could. So, there you go. But yeah, I don't understand how there's this... People seem to presume that I have disdain for the 1488ers. I don't. I nothing against these people. I don't communicate with these people. They do their thing, I do my thing, that's fine. I have no desire to control other people on what they do. And what they should and shouldn't talk about. Again, with this whole changes in the alt-right, I'm merely observing it. I'm not saying, just to repeat myself, I'm not saying it should be one thing or another. People should be talking about this thing or another. Who the fuck am I to come in and tell other people, hundreds of other people, what they should be doing? It's fucking nonsense. Why would I be doing that? It'd be incredibly inappropriate. It would just be fucking bad manners, wouldn't it? Because there are people who have been here longer than I have. For me to just come in and start bossing people around, just like, if it was person to person, I'd expect to be punched in the face, and rightfully so. So, yeah, just to clear that up, I have nothing against nationalists and the like, really. I'm not a nationalist, but that's fine. We have a common enemy, that's liberalism. That's modernity to a degree. That's, at the end of the day, we can, at the moment, as it stands, kind of coagulate under this big tent, which is called the alt-right, and in the same community, and kind of socialise and share ideas, and with a bit of banter and all the rest of it, and it's all good. So there doesn't need to be pointless animosity between various subcategories within the alt-right. I have a policy, and I think everyone should fucking follow this. And it's one thing I will force other people to do if I can. If you don't like someone, just don't talk to them. If you don't like something, don't support it. With the internet, if you're going to try and police what everyone else does, you will fucking fail. You cannot do it, because people have free will, and they will do what they want to do, regardless of what some random anonymous person on the internet wants them to think. It's why, just to pick one example, Greg Johnson's article, Gay Panic in the Alt-Right, when people go fucking nuts about faggotry, it's a complete fucking waste of time. Because one, you always have gay people, and two, you can never get rid of them. But of course, we're going to uphold healthy norms. Just to continue on this example, traditional marriage, traditional family, traditional relations between the genders, etc. And that's fine. But this thing should operate at the personal level. If I know someone, a guy who is promiscuous with other men, I'm gonna say to him, if this is a new phenomenon with him, I'm gonna say, look, I'm your friend. You're going to stop doing this, or we aren't going to speak anymore. Simple. That's how it should be. It's the same with race mixers. I don't speak to race mixers, and it's not hateful. It's not personal. It's just I can't accept that. I'm afraid that's a morally reprehensible act, and we shouldn't. I don't wish to support that, so I won't support you. So it's kept at that level. That's the level disagreements should be kept at. To make some sort of big deal out of them, to make a video, for example, attacking a whole subgroup of people for no reason and just bitching about them, is just like, why? Why bother? Who are you trying to convince and why? Most of the time, if you're going to make a video bitching about other people, if myself or Woes did a video, for fuck's sake, this always happens. Did a video complaining about the 1488ers. Who are we going to convince? No one. We're just going to rally people who agree with us or don't agree with us, and you'll have a like-dislike ratio reflect that on the video, and people in the comments just regurgitating what we're saying or saying no, fuck off. It's just a waste of time. So yeah, I mean people complain about divisiveness in a community like this, not without merit, but the best way to not be divisive is just to keep disagreements on the personal level. And again, if you see someone doing something silly, leaving a comment is the most pathetic thing you could do. The best thing to do is do it better yourself. Ultimately, in a community like this, where people make content, articles, videos, whatever else, to go around policing other people is futile, and it's just signalling, isn't it? What you should be doing is doing it better yourself, if you can, if you want to. Like, just to pick an example of myself, when we are going on 12 minutes now, I'll try and keep this short and sweet within the next, I think, 5 minutes we'll wrap it up. Just to pick an example, like with websites and blogs, West Coast Reactionaries, what I run, is quite different to all the other ones. It's a bit of NRX, a bit of Reactosphere, a bit of tradition, a bit of conspiracy, I suppose, in some areas you could say. I'm just kidding to the person that's aimed at. Just a bit of basic stuff. It's all over the place, but it's always good stuff. But it is. I maintain West Coast Reactionaries. At the end of the day, I run it. It's my kingdom, as it were. I'm not going to go over to Radix Journal and say, "Oh, you aren't doing what we're doing. That means you're shit." No, and I would happily, well, not happily, but it would rightfully, Richard Spencer would make a video saying this guy's a cunt. Right? That kind of contradicts what I'm saying, doesn't it? He wouldn't make a video, but I mean, you get my point. He would rightfully smack me down and say, "Who the fuck are you to do that?" Good grief, what was that? I don't know if you saw that, but the whole screen just flashed. But anyway, back to the point. So yeah, this whole changes in the alt-right thing. It's merely an observation. I don't want to sow dissent, and nor does Woes, or anyone else for that matter. If you look on the description, the comments of that video Woes made, and the one I made, which I will again link in the description, there are people who agree with us. It's not just me and Woes bleating to nothing, to no one. But yeah, divisiveness, it's not about that. We're merely observing a trend. For better or worse, some of the points Woes raised were about quality of the community, that sort of thing. If I'm sharing a street with other people, and all of a sudden, some fucking Jamaican cunt moves in next door, filthy, dirty, loud, obnoxious, I'm not going to be too pleased. And it's our street, me and my neighbours, we're good friends, we get along, and all of a sudden this bastard has turned up. We don't want that. And with the alt-right, it's similar, although it's difficult to then police that. However, the only way to police it is through personal will and action, and who you do and do not support and how so. Uh, Leaving a negative comment does very little. It's merely signalling. So there you go. Not to say people shouldn't leave negative comments. Leave whatever comment you like. If it adds to a discussion, if it's valuable. But at the end of the day, me and Woes, I really want to just drive this point home, aren't trying to sow dissent or be divisive or to nitpick and alienate particular people, really. Like, at the end of the day. So I think 15 minutes, 16 minutes, we'll leave it at that. So yeah, thank you for watching.